to the Vocational Experts Views channel. Today we are going to be talking about having success at a C&P exam. This is also known as an independent medical exam in other disability systems. So with the VA compensation and pension evaluation process, we will be looking at that more in depth today. Sometimes the VA is scheduling this to determine if you have a diagnosis. They're trying to substantiate the severity of your symptoms, and sometimes they're trying to determine if there is a medical nexus. Just because these exams are scheduled doesn't mean the VA is trying to discount your independent medical records as you provided to them. Sometimes they are trying to substantiate what you have just provided them. It's a common process. If you have certain C&P questions or comments, make sure you put them in our comment section. If you know of things that would help other veterans, also you can put those in the comment section. Here at the TDIU Vocational Expert Views channel, we're looking for more comments. So be sure to leave us comments that you believe that would be helpful to us. Make sure you leave comments if there are certain topics you want to see or learn about. Also, are there things you believe that would be vital for other veterans to know? You can also put those in our comments. So what's the best way to approach these exams? You want to make sure you have your records with you. These professionals are seeing you for the first time. A lot of times they do make attempts to try to review your medical records beforehand. However, sometimes this isn't the case. We all get busy and things, so that a lot of times they are trying to make the attempt to review and know your records, but sometimes that just isn't possible. Also, they don't know your medical history as well as you do, and it's time limited, which is why you want to make sure you keep the C&P exam focused on your disability issues. Also, don't minimize, but don't maximize. A lot of these providers are chosen to look for certain red flags, or they're already heightened to look for certain red flags. Be sure to show up. In any system that schedules you for an independent medical exam, if you constantly do no call, no shows, or constantly canceling, it looks poorly against your case. It looks like you're trying to hide something. How to prepare. Disability system with the VA on a certain DBQ. So you want to make sure you pull that DBQ and know what the provider is being asked of to put in that DBQ. And those questions are pretty specific. Some providers will have certain topics or issues that may not relate directly in that DBQ, but if you read the DBQ overall, you'll be able to project what some of those other questions or things that the provider might be looking at. Make sure you bring your records with you. Make sure which records or situations you want to highlight or discuss. Again, you want to make sure you have records with you. You want to make sure you have a list of your current medications. Be sure to bring your assistive devices. If you have a journal, for example, a pain journal, a headache journal, a seizure journal, you want to make sure those journals are up to date and you're able to review them with the provider. You want to make sure you're professional. Don't try to be funny or their friend. You want to keep small talk limited because you want to keep everything focused on your assessment. Again, don't exaggerate. So when you're getting an independent medical examination, these professionals are hired by the VA or Social Security Administration. And anytime you're hired by somebody, even though you're supposed to be unbiased, it's hard to fully separate that out. So you always got to be aware of that. And they have a job to do. And you may not be fully aware of all the questions they are asked to assess or report on. Even though, let's say you're going in for a psychological evaluation, you might be surprised at what some of the judges are asking these providers to look at, in addition to doing the psychological assessment that has nothing to do with the psychological assessment. So, if you're seeking a TDIU or documentation or vocational limitations, this is something a vocational expert can help you with. So, what can a vocational expert do? Well, your VA raters, doctors, and mental health providers, when they're looking at your service connected disabilities, they're looking at functional abilities in your life, your ADLs, and overall life. They're not looking specifically in terms of employability. Whereas with vocational experts, we are looking everything at an employability eye. We are able to take into account all aspects of your service connected disabilities and not individual particular situations about it. We're also able to look at all of your service connected disabilities and how they interact with each other. We're also able to isolate non-service connected issues. You'll see or hear a lot of veterans go, I was denied because the rater said I could do XYZ, and the reason I'm doing XYZ is because of a non-service connected disability. Well, as vocational experts, we're able to isolate that out to help show if it's truly your service connected disabilities, that's why you're unemployable, or if it's your non-service connected disabilities. And vocational experts are trying to illuminate how your issues affect your ability to work. And therefore, we are addressing employability directly. So, if you're wanting a vocational expert evaluation, the first step is to schedule a personal consultation with us today. We'll do a brief intake form, we'll look at your VA rater form, and we'll discuss with you your particular case to see if you're a viable candidate for a vocational evaluation. If that looks good, then the next step would be step 2, and that is to provide us with your complete VA file as well as other medical records for us to review. Step 3 would be mostly discussed in step 1, and this is, do we need more psychological evidence or testing? We can do testing for ADHD as well as interacting with others, suicide, PTSD. And then step 4 is to get your vocational expert TDIU report. So be sure to leave us comments that you think would be helpful to us. Are there certain topics you would like to see or learn about that you want us to address? Are there things that you believe would be vital for other veterans to know? Please leave us comments. And again, if you're looking for a vocational expert evaluation, these are the steps. Please give us a call today.